Okay, I'm going to do this video about the dial bore gauges. The measuring kit that I bought came with this style of bore gauge, and the way these work, there's various types, but they all have a series of like 3 pegs across the bottom, and the center one will press in and out. The others will go also, but it's the center one that works the dial. They all have interchangeable rods based on the diameter of the hole that you're wanting to measure. And the way they work is you put them in, and I know it's kind of difficult to video this kind of a thing, but you get them leveled across the inside of your hole. And then you kind of rock it left to right, kind of rotating it to make sure it's centered. And you set these dial gauges, you set it with you use a gauge to set it. You can use a micrometer, or if you have a master ring of a set diameter, you can use that. And then you would turn the dial up here to 0. Now ours is kind of, somebody broke it, and so it doesn't always return back to where it's supposed to. But then you would 0 it, and we'll just say that's the 0, and then you go to your test subject and you test it. And what you're looking for with these kind to see, is it in or is it within tolerance range. So this is the one that came with the kit, but it's broke and I can't find a replacement for it. So I bought this one, but it doesn't have the long enough rods to use the disc with. But this one I can explain a little bit better how it works up here. So you would use, just with the other one, use something to 0 it with, and a micrometer would be the safest way, or if you have a master ring that you're going to work from. And so you would put it in it, and this one is the same way, just this one has wheels because it's for smaller diameter holes, and then one press rod in the middle. And then here on the back, these are interchangeable. And you put it in your micrometer, and then it will adjust, the needle, and you loosen a screw here and you can adjust the dial. And so we'll say that's my 0 point based on the micrometer. And then these little indexes on the outside here, you can rotate them with your fingertip to set your tolerance range. Am I going to be, plus or minus, whatever the decimal of an inch here, which in this case is 3 decimal places, a 0.005 for each index mark. And so if I set it at 2 index marks, like so, I know that's a little difficult for you to see, but I've set it at 2 index marks, and that would give me a plus 0.01. And I can move, my other one up. And you can set these, and it's just a quick way to see when you check something, is it in or out of tolerance. And that's kind of how these work. There are some dial gauges or bore gauges that actually measure the diameter of the bore, and those will have a vernier, a lot of those will have a vernier type scale, like the caliper that we were using, or the micrometer we were using last week. And so you can read that. It's just you got to pay attention to it because the index marks go from bottom to top on it, and so that it reads a little bit differently. Let me play around a little bit with it and see if I can get a micrometer setting. And then what we'll do is we'll set with a caliper so you can set and 0, and I'll have to put it into Blackboard what size to use, and then we'll check the tolerance of this hole. And the way we'll do it is you'll put it in, and if you watch the needle when I move it kind of back and forth, left and right. And what you're doing is you're trying to get perpendicular to the center of the hole. And when you get contact there, you're looking within range for that largest size right there. So the way it's reading right now, it'd be 44 on the dial, or 44 and a half, sorry, on that dial. That would be my largest size. So that's going to be my true diameter. And then I want you to check, go down different heights. And what you do is you'll zero this so that you know where your zero is, and then you can check it and see what the tolerance range is, at different heights going down, and then rotate it 90 degrees and come back in and check again. So I can see right there, this one is one index mark different. And so we'll check that to be able to do that.